So just looking ahead to SMU. First of all, it's going to be your first road game away out of the state of Florida. So just what are you looking forward to about that?
Um, Really the same thing. Just take everything that we do on Green Tree up to another city, another state. That's really it. It's not really much of big of a deal. We
And
still
a bit of sorry, a bit of a change of pace with the 11 o'clock, early start. Just how have you guys talked about that, and how you guys are going to handle kind of getting up early and getting moving, pretty quickly?
I don't think that would be a big difference or a big deal for us because we start early here in Miami. So I think once we go up there and play the standard football, we'll be all right.
Okay, we'll go over to Matt Shadell from Kane Sport. Matt?
Yeah, hey, Malachi. Can you talk about sort of, everyone's talking about your mindset. They say you're so young and you're so mature for your age and this and that. Where does that come from, and how do you stay so grounded despite obviously having a heck of a start to your freshman season?
That come from just like the game of football humbling you itself. My freshman year, I fumbled on the last drive. On the my freshman year, I fumbled on the game-winning drive for the state championship title. And ever since then, I just kept my head down and stayed humble, knowing that if you don't put in what you want out of it, you will never get it.
So, go to Jordan McPherson next.
Yeah, hey there, Malachi. Obviously, you're around a lot of big guys, big name receivers from the heydays, and Mike Orton was always on the sideline. I know that you have a relationship with Santana Moss. Have you gotten any advice, or have they spoken to you since you've sort of broken out? And maybe if so, what's been the biggest advice you've gotten from them?
No, I really haven't got any advice because they as much talk to me.
All right, but also, then with Irvin always being on the sideline, what's it like being around him as you're starting your career?
It's great being around a great wide receiver that did a lot of things that I want to do. Just having him around is really a big deal. I really didn't look at it from that perspective, but then, like after I scored, I think I came back to the sideline like, wow, this really Michael Irvin here cheering me on. So it's just a blessing.
Go back to Adam Lichtenstein. Adam?
Hey again. Just looking at the punt returns. What did you see on those on Saturday, and when you watched them on film? Obviously, you got pretty close to breaking them. Breaking free for a touchdown. Just what can you guys still work on punt return coverage?
Things we can work on from punt return coverage is just screening a little bit more, and I could do a better job setting up those blocks and to be able to return one. So we probably will get one in the future. We'll see.
Awesome. We'll wrap it up with Andrea Adelson. Andrea?
Hey, Malachi. I remember after the Notre Dame game, everyone said, oh no, Malachi's not going to be a secret anymore. And yet you're still making plays on teams. Wondering if you've seen teams play you any differently as the season has gone on, and why you've continued to be able to have the success you've had now that you're a known guy.
I'll say I have the success I'm having because I stay humble and stay grounded through everything. No matter how much hype they give me or try to boost my head up, I still go back to work and stay grounded. And of course, teams pull out different things. Some teams will talk to me and be like, this ain't high school no more, but I just don't say it. I just get up and walk off.
And where do you feel like you have made the biggest improvements now that you've gone halfway through your first season?
Just staying in tune with the details and just trying to become a better leader to those guys in the room, even though I'm young and I really don't say much, I could become a better leader.
So obviously you've been in the system now for a few months. Got 6-7 games under your belt. Just how much more comfortable have you gotten over the course of the season in this defense?
Yeah, I've definitely come to an understanding of what Coach Edmond is trying to do schematically with myself and with the defense in general. So just continuing to find different ways and different tweaks to add personality into it, but also playing within the defense. So I'm definitely feel like I'm getting comfortable. There's definitely some things I can continue to work on. Always trying to pursue to get better. So it's definitely something I'm looking forward to keep improving on and just finding different ways to add personality to it.
And then just looking ahead to SMU this weekend, what stands out about their offense to you? Obviously, they didn't score a ton against Wake Forest last week, but they have, good playmakers on that team. Just what stands out to you about them?
Just their ways the ways they're looking to create explosive plays is something that we're definitely looking at, of, slowing down and stopping the explosive plays from that they love to create. So that's definitely something. And then also, the playmakers on the outside of, us in the back end, and making sure that we're doing our job and doing our thing out there on those islands, and being able to, slow down and slow down their explosive plays, control the quarterback can do some good things with his legs, with his arms. So definitely all around just looking to better to, keep improvement as the season goes on, and looking forward to the challenge.
Over to Jordan McPherson next. Jordan?
Yeah. Hey there, Keionte. Stanford game last week, first drive, they go down, they score, and then you guys just shut them down the rest of the way. What changed after that first drive, or what impressed you the most about how you guys responded after that first drive?
We're looking forward to, we don't want to keep, giving up those first drives and stuff like that. So, we're looking to improve in that area, but also just, the resilience of guys realizing, man, we are who we think we are. And we just got to, believe that, going in and believing that, and then, buying into our standard, what we set on defense and flying around. I feel like, teams, come out and have stuff schemed up, but also do, ways to counteract that is, swarming around and flying around. So that's something we're looking forward to, coming out of the gate, coming out flying.
And then just curious, as a nickel corner, what's it like in practice going up against a guy like Malachi Toney, and just how much has he impressed you with what he's doing it? I mean, he just turned 18 like a month ago.
Yeah, I was telling Coach KB, I just feel like, having a guy like that in the slot, but just having a receiver room in general like that, we're going against the best and, the top receivers in the ACC every week. So getting that opportunity is preparing us, as we go into weeks. We've seen that, the top guys in the country. So, getting a chance to go against them every week, a 1-on-1, 7-on-7, different things like that, team periods, is definitely helping us, get certain looks, and then when we go into games, we're kind of, a little calmer and stuff like that, just because we've seen the top guys in the conference.
Go over to Matt Shadell next. Matt?
Yeah, hey, Keionte. I actually want to ask you about one of your answers. You said a couple times that in your own game you want to add personality to it. Can you expound on that? Like, what do you mean by that?
Oh, yeah. Personally, I just, I pride myself on, just being around the ball. And I feel like, just personality-wise, of just flying and making sure, I'm making those plays, and the available plays, but also, personality-wise, being that guy on defense that's bringing the juice. I want to pride myself on that as the season continues to go on, of, being able to, supply a spark when needed, or, just anything, just playing within the defense, but also, being the juice guy out there.
Awesome. We'll go over to Andrea Adelson next. Andrea?
Hey, Keionte, you mentioned trying to limit SMU's explosive plays. Wake Forest did a really good job of that last week. I was wondering just what you saw on the tape from that game, and kind of what they did, and if there's anything you all can take away from some of the things that they did to apply on Saturday.
Yeah, I feel like Wake Forest, had a good game plan. As we break down that tape, we've seen them do a lot of good things of, just getting the quarterback off the spot, some different things, defense schematically. But I feel like, our biggest focus this week and every week is just focusing on ourselves. As Coach Edmond says, it's all about us. So, we just want to just focus on, keep creating, then building that standard that we want to be on defense, and living it out and playing it out every Saturday.
When you are facing a mobile quarterback like Kevin Jennings, just what are some of the biggest keys in terms of making sure you're keeping him contained and not letting him get outside?
Really, it's one of those games where everybody just has to trust each other on defense, and everybody has to, do their 111, as we say. Everybody doing their job. Certain guys have to have certain responsibilities, and just being able to execute those, and not trying to play outside or making anything, any selfish decisions of, trying to do certain things to make plays. It just, everybody's just doing their job, doing their 111, and then getting the ball in there.